Thanks. Olivia just did my hair. That's why I look like this. It's really weird. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about how when you're reading, if you're thinking about what you might tell somebody later, keeps your ideas going. So the idea here is that when you read differently if you're thinking about what you're going to talk about. So the first big thing is to notice what the big idea is, and then these prompts will help you think of ways that you could add on. So as you're talking or reading, you could say, I can picture how this goes. I'm going to show you how to do this in just a moment. The weird thing about this is, and I've seen kids with Post-its in their books that say that exact thing. They say the weird thing about this is that it looks just like a big blob and it looks like coral. Or this makes me think that, if I were looking at this picture, I might say this makes me think that octopuses are really good at camouflaging themselves. But I wonder if they always camouflage themselves or if sometimes they do, or if they do it for a reason. And it's important to notice that you can see that octopus's eye, and it reminds me of, I don't know, let's go ahead and see what we can do. So I can picture how this goes. Well, here we have an example out of a book of octopuses. It said, color changes show how an octopus is feeling. I can picture how this goes. If the octopus sees something scary, it gets terrified, and it might turn red and black and green. And if it feels peaceful or sleepy, those colors probably turn pale. And then I might add on and say, this makes me think that the octopus may be more advanced than I originally thought. And I used to think, here's one, I used to think that octopuses were just a big blob in the sea. But now I'm realizing that they're super, super smart, and I want to learn more about octopuses. Do you see how I do that? So I'm going to give you this poster to keep near you when you're reading so that you can try that. Like, keep adding to your thoughts, adding on and on and on and on, and we'll put that in our Padlet. The other thing that you want to make sure that you know is that you know what your opinion is. So sometimes the author says something and you have to think to yourself, I agree with the author because of something, or I disagree with the author. You think to yourself, how do you figure out what the author's perspective is? Well, you say the author seems to feel something about the topic. Let's look at this sentence here. The color changes show how an octopus is feeling. That one's probably not the best. Let me see if I can find something. Here's an example. It's from a Scholastic News that I have, and it's talking about avalanches. So here's a picture, and it says, heavy snowfall, wind, and the movements of people and animals can all trigger an avalanche. If you're ever caught in one, try to get to the side of it and stay as close to possible to the surface. So the author seems to feel that being in an avalanche is really dangerous, right? That's what the author thinks. And I can think that it's super dangerous or not. My evidence is that the author says that you should try to get out of the way. And the author would probably not have said that if the author thought that being in an avalanche was safe. So this suggests to me that the author would be worried if you were in an avalanche. You see how I did that? Make sure that you know what your opinion is and what the author's opinion is.